Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Spill the Bubble Tea After Dark. This is me, Adam, and that is...
Andrea James Lui!
Cheers!
Cheers!
Get the tea out. I literally just woke up and Andrea is what? About to go to bed.
I bet, you know what? I have had a weird day with sleep because I was up till 4:30 a.m. watching Bridgerton season 1. I'm always late to the party, and then I had to take a really long nap. So since I woke up, I've eaten dinner. God. I've got a hot jasmine tea with honey. What are you drinking?
Yummy. Jasmine will use it in there.
It's a jasmine day.
It's my morning tea. Yes.
It's very soothing.
It's so good. Okay,
is it freezing
so
cold in
today
Melbourne
we
right
are.
now?
It's actually really sunny out there, but it's very windy, so I can hear the wind whistling in the background, and things will be flying. So, yes.
Yeah, I'm just thinking because you're all rugged up with your hoodie, and I'm in a singlet and shorts, but I'm drinking hot tea. So I'm like, ooh, it's summertime in Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm just been having health issues, so I'm just like trying not to get cold.
Oh.
But yes.
Are you doing okay?
Yes. Did you hear that? I'm doing okay,
I saw you.
I literally have a pimple patch on my eye because pimple, and then
is it safe to put it right on your eye?
Yeah, a pimple patch.
But like right on your
hydrogel.
eye. Okay.
It sucks up all the pus and shit. Anyway, do you want to know more about my pus? Please check.
I saw on my list of potential future topics, I had written down skincare. And since I've been in Toronto, my skin has just been all over the place. And I ran out of the face wash that I usually use, so I've been using something different. And my skin is this combination of like oily and irritated, and I'm like hot and it's humid. I'm at my brother's house right now, and this is my sister-in-law's nursing rocking chair. It's huge.
Oh my god.
I could fall asleep in this. So cute.
You should.
All right, what are we talking about today?
Okay.
Marketing and branding.
We're talking about marketing and branding for pole dancers, for metal rod dancers. Yes.
Oh, I finally got flagged. My
Mm-hmm.
bio got flagged because it said I'm a pole dancer and my fringe show is the pole shebang. So my bio finally got flagged. So I had to change it. But I haven't put metal rod dancer yet. I put pole with an asterisk instead of an O. I don't know.
Yep.
I hate it.
Yeah, honestly, they have been many people like last week. They messaged me, how do I do this? How do I do that? I was like, just check this video because I don't want to explain.
Yeah.
To individual. It's just too many times. But yeah, all they did was changing pole to either pole at, P at LE or something else, like like P0 LE instead of POLE or metal rod dancer or whatever. They changed that. They instantly fixed. So.
Well, I'm still under review, so I'll let you know how that goes.
It will be fine, but it's just so annoying, effing annoying, because
I hope
Instagram
so
is tackling on pole dancer now. Yeah.
It's so annoying because so I currently have my bio flagged and 3 other videos, but all 3 of the videos are like at my home studio, and I heard from somewhere that if you have like a lot of nude color, it increases your chances of being flagged because of all the nude color. Because my floor is like a natural wood color and the walls are white, and got a lot of bare skin. And so just looking at the thumbnails, I'm like, wow, it's just like beige. The thumbnail's just beige and beige. And then I also heard if you have like red lights or pink lights, it has a tendency to flag the AI police as well.
That's what we're going to talk about. Yeah, if you have red, pink, those lighting, they more suspected to get flagged because we don't have freedom anymore. That's the thing.
It's just
I actually
so
need to send you this video that I've been watching. It's actually very scary, just like the world we're living right now. Yeah, they gave us all the freedom, but now they're taking all the freedom back so they can control us in a way. But yes, so how do we market ourselves and brand ourselves in this chaotic era?
Um, yeah, it's a really tough question because, like, I know that one of the things I have to do for my marketing is change the look of my home space. Or I don't have to change the look of my space, but I have to change how I put filters over it and stuff like that. And it's counter to
Mm-hmm.
my own personal aesthetic because I love the unfiltered, natural light, wood floor.
Mm.
And it's
I
just
don't
so
think
obvious to
the
me that that's
floor
going to
is
get.
it's that
No, it's the nude
big of a
palette. I think it's the nude palette. No?
really.
I mean, you hear
No,
so
I
many
don't think that's a
conflicting
thing
things. You hear so many
because
conflicting things.
I follow a lot of neutral Instagram like influencer, not pole dancers, but yeah, their palette is like nude cream. So I
Yeah,
don't
but as
think that
part of the
it's could be
nudes,
a thing.
like bare arms and legs and torsos.
Yeah, so like unfortunately for female, it's even harder because to be honest, like you might get flagged just because you're a fucking girl these days.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
so
and
sad.
that's so true, and it's just so frustrating. And you know, in terms of getting flagged, even things that look like it might be a nipple will get flagged. And hopefully,
Mm,
Deb Roach doesn't mind me telling this about her. But you know, Deb only has one arm, and like on the tip of her arm, she has like a mole, and
mm-hmm,
because the where the mole is located, it's roughly chest height. And so she said that her
mm.
videos keep getting flagged because the mole on her arm, it keeps getting, it probably is flagging as a bare nipple. And
That is so
she's getting so
stupid.
frustrated. Yeah, yeah. But like
Yeah, I don't
I don't
know.
know.
Like there were so
That's what
many
happens when you
times
get
I just
AI
like
to. There you
you
go.
know what?
You
It's
go.
actually more than AI because I have a student. I met a student in Malta. She works at TikTok
She works at
UK,
TikTok.
and
Ooh.
yeah, TikTok UK. So she does the census stuff. Yeah, a lot of time, once people appeal it, she have to physically go through them. And she's a pole dancer and a stripper as well. So a lot of times she see pole dancer, she like, oh, she can't do anything. She have to flag it. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. For her, it's
Oh.
very conflicting because of that. But then, rules is rules. So I'm just like, great time to live in the era.
Mm.
Come
That
on,
must be
social
tough.
media.
That must be
Yeah,
tough for
just
her because,
frustrating.
like, a lot of the times, whenever I kind of identify really unfair rules, I've always kind of believed that if you want to change the game of the change change the rules of the game. I was about to say change the game of the rules. You have to play the game first and then earn a position of
Yep.
power to change the rules. But it takes so long, and if you're not in a position where you can gain power within the game that exists, then you've got to somehow get adjacent power, like befriend people who can play the game and get the power. And I remember I used to date this
Mm,
guy. He was so smart, but he just spent so much time being so angry at the political structure of Canada and not doing anything about it. And you know, there's only so much you can tell somebody else, like, hey, if you try to engage in politics or get involved, even on a community level to start with, and work your way up through the ranks, then you can start making changes. Because he was really hung up on environmental changes. And I was like, well, you're not going to
mm,
make any changes by sitting in your mom's apartment smoking weed every night complaining about the state of the world. Like, actually use your high level intellect, go and infiltrate that
mm,
community, and then start changing it from the inside. And so the
mm-hmm.
pole dancer, you know, who's working for TikTok, it's like, ooh, how can we get more people like that on the inside who can maybe start to affect change, like with
Mm.
whatever policies that they're being made to implement.
Yeah, I think that I feel that way many, many times in my life. It's just like I hate whatever is happening in the world, but I feel frustrated because I can't do anything. And like again, like if you have the thought of it, guys, I know many people have the same thought, but they just don't know where to start, or they're just
Mm-hmm.
like, can't be bothered because it's not gonna change.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is really up to all the opponents and like, what can we do to change the
You
thing,
know, even in
the
the pole
rules.
community, I've had people ask me like, "Hey, if you are a pole dancer who doesn't really enjoy the competitive side of pole dancing, then why do you judge competitions? And I think it's a totally valid
Mm,
question to ask somebody like me. But the reason I like
mm,
to judge competitions is because then I can start to affect change in terms of what is looked for and what is scored highly and what is appreciated at a show. Like, I get to be the
mm-hmm,
Simon Cowell
mm-hmm.
and I get to say, this is what's good, this is what you should be looking for. And I've definitely
Yeah.
experienced that by being on a judging panel where I get to say, no, this theatrical one was very daring, it was very courageous, it was very different. So we score it high.
Mm-hmm,
And yeah, that's one way you can affect change from the inside.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, on that note, you definitely want judges from different background to judge, and you don't want people who are the same style to judge because it's just not gonna be fair, you know.
Hmm.
And like again, we talked about this already. You need judges from different states, from different studios, not the same
Different,
people every year just because you don't want to pay people to do it. So
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it's interesting when we talk about marketing and branding because we talk about all the stuff within the pole community, but when we talk about
Mm-hmm.
marketing and branding, all of a sudden the pole community is being forced to engage with the broader community. You know, we have
Oh
to
yeah.
engage with the organizations that run social media, and we have to engage with the non-pole dance population because we're trying to bring them into the population, or we're trying to bring them into the community.
Mm-hmm.
And so this topic is very interesting because it's all to do with now not just how do we communicate with each other, it's how do we communicate with the outside world, how do we hook them, how do we draw them in, how do we provide
Mm-hmm.
value so that we can get new people to come in.
Yeah. And like, since the beginning of the time, we all have been doing that because obviously we need people to do poll to make it bigger. And now it's quite big. So I think that definitely helped. The mainstream media has definitely helped pole dancing to become widely accepted by this time because like everybody done pole. Like most people stranger I know that
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, I've done that before. I'm like, oh my god, interesting. So it's not something new anymore, and then I don't really hear people talking about Paul badly anymore. So it's actually interesting how like
Yeah.
10 years of marketing and promoting pole dancing can change people's view.
Well, so speaking of the non-pole dance community, I just finished up my first run of the pole shebang at London Fringe Festival.
Oh
It closed,
yes,
yeah, so it closed like just
how
a
was
week and a
that?
half ago. It was really, really exciting because obviously I reached out to all of the pole dance studios in London. There were like three main ones,
Mm-hmm.
and each
Yeah.
studio had a few people, students and teachers, come check out the show, which was really exciting for me to get to meet new people within the community. But the vast majority of the
Mm-hmm.
audience were not pole dancers, and it was
Wow.
what I did was I set up a camera in the lobby so that after they were exiting the theater, they could leave video reactions to the show. And there was so much
Mm-hmm.
positive feedback and support and enthusiasm from
Yeah.
all different kinds of people. And London is a bit of an older population. So there were lots of sort of
Mm-hmm.
retired age, senior type people who were just so excited. And I thought that was amazing.
Mm.
And there were some people who maybe hadn't personally tried pole dancing but had a friend who had done it or had a relative who had done it, and it really makes you realize that pole dancing has spread so far that even people who haven't done it themselves, they know somebody who has tried it and they're familiar with it. And it was a
Mm-hmm.
really cool way to kind of see, okay, who's familiar with pole, what's your expectation of it, and then through watching this show, how can I break your expectations, how can I introduce you to different aspects of pole dancing. And then by the
Mm.
end of the shows, there was like just so much support and enthusiasm for it. So that was
That's
amazing.
so good. I want to watch
Yeah.
it. Bring it to Melbourne. Can you just apply to Melbourne Fringe or something?
Yeah, so a lot of the fringe, pretty much all the fringe festivals for this year have already, their applications have closed. So what I'm doing is looking at where I
Mm-hmm.
can bring it next year. So I'm, again, going to apply
Mm-hmm.
to all the Canadian ones because those are random lottery. I'm going to apply to all the festivals in Australia. Those ones, I think some of them are juried or like they have a different selection process. So I'll have to look deeper
Mm-hmm.
into that. But Edinburgh Fringe Festival in Scotland just finished, and I always knew it was the biggest one, but I didn't know how the selection process worked or like how the application
Mm-hmm.
process works. But basically, everyone goes. So you apply, they put
Oh,
you in touch with a venue, and then you and the venue negotiate a contract. And if you can come to a payment agreement, then you go. And so this year they had over
wow.
3,000 shows. 3,000 shows.
Wow.
Whereas
Do they make
London,
money doing that?
well, this was a question that Charlie asked me. He's like, "What's the payment structure in Canada?" Because I think they vary from place to place. So in Canada, I paid like a $20 application fee to submit my application,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I was selected, I paid like a $400 or $500 participant fee. So we've talked about that
Mm-hmm.
before with pole competitions. You pay an entry and then you pay a participation fee. But that $400 or $500 fee covers ticket sales, box office, front of house staff, theater technicians, and the theater rental itself. And separate from the festival, these things would have costed me thousands and thousands of dollars. And the tickets are
Mm.
only $15 each. And I think we come away with like $13 out of every ticket. Um, so
Mm-hmm.
obviously, depending on how many tickets you sell, you're going to make more or less money. But in order
Mm.
for me to just cover the, let's say, the entry fee, the participant fee, all the costumes and props and like flying over here and stuff like that, I haven't really calculated the numbers, um, but I think
Mm-hmm.
I maybe broke even. But
Okay,
the
that's
reason
good.
Charlie was asking was because Charlie said every fringe artist he knows in Australia is taking a massive risk because the majority of them lose money because they don't have this
Mm.
same sort of participant fee that covers all the box office, front of house, and technical staff and space rental.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
so that's one of the reasons everyone comes to
Yeah.
Canada.
Maybe,
Um,
maybe that's the way to go. If you want to be a French artist, Canada is the way to go.
maybe,
Marketing.
yeah. But in terms of like how I marketed that show, first of all, I had this really stunning photo from Jealous by Nature, and I think some people were
Mm.
drawn to the show just because the photo. It's one of the fire photos.
Mm.
It's just really cool looking. But then when you
Mm-hmm.
get to my show, you're like, okay, the fire has nothing to do with the show, and this person is not nearly as cool as the person in the poster. Um, but that's fine. People didn't care because the majority of people they were like, "Oh, it's the pole dancing show. Let's go see the pole dancing show." And
Mm-hmm.
they don't even really care. I remember distinctly there were three guys in the audience who were didn't seem like theater goers. They probably came to see the pole dancing. And that day,
Mm.
because at the end of every show I asked the audience for donations, and in that particular show somebody had like a folded up $20 bill, and Canadian money
Mm-hmm.
is sort of plasticky and so it doesn't fold
Yeah.
easily, but they had folded it
Same
up
as
like six
Australian.
times. Yeah, same with Australian
Wow.
money. And so I think that's something that you might tend to do if you're going to a strip club and you want to be able to throw the money on stage because it's like wadded up like a bundle.
Mm.
And so I thought, oh, that must be from
Mm-mm-mm.
those three young guys who probably came expecting a strip show. Meanwhile, the strip club
Yeah.
scene that happens in my show is just ridiculous and it's like a comedic scene. So they didn't get
I
to see
love
anything
it.
sexy that day. But they
Oh
still
well.
tipped me,
Oh
so
well.
great.
That's good. That's good. That's
Mm.
good then.
So
Oh.
I think that was a really
Okay.
effective
So
way to
yeah,
reach non-pole community.
non-porn. Yeah, that's good. It is definitely hard because like if I was going to promote for non-pole community, I would like have no idea to do it because like I do some club gigs and stuff, and then we obviously have to promote to like non-polar, like just Margot community, and it's hard.
What are
You
the
know,
club gigs like? Is the audience mostly like do you get a mix of pole dancers coming and like who want to see
no,
specifically you? They're just club
no,
goers.
they're just club goers, and they'll be like, oh, there's a show, there's a pole show, and then they'll be really drunk, and then they'll be like, woo, and then you finish the show and you go home. That's it.
That's
Yeah.
my
Occasionally,
yeah.
yeah. Occasionally there will be like pole dancer coming up to be like, oh my god, there was a pole, blah blah blah. I do pole as well, da da da. Some people, because a lot of people do pole now. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think one of my favorite things about performing for a non-pole dance audience is they are just so excited by everything because they've never seen anything. So that part of it is really
Mm-hmm.
exciting. Like, a jade split and they lose their mind, and it feels really wholesome to
Yes.
me. But
Mm-hmm.
I get I aim to try and appease all different types of audiences. So I want to
Mm-hmm.
impress the pole dance audience, but I also want to make the non pole dance audience feel welcome. So you got to kind of
Yeah,
always
that's why
have
you
this
do the
sort of
party
two
tricks.
pronged. Yeah, yeah, you do the party troop, a split drop, not hard but
Mm-hmm.
exciting. But then you also got to throw in a
Exactly.
unique transition so that the pole dance audience is like, oh, I've
Mm-hmm.
never seen that. Yeah, yeah.
Mm. Exactly. Because I have people come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, you did pretty well," and I'm like, "Okay, thank you."
You're
Because
like,
I
I
have
was on a
started pole
45
dancing.
chrome stage pole. That was the best I could do.
Yeah, no, they were like, yeah, I started doing pole dancing like, a year ago. So I know it was really hard for you to do that. I'm like, thank you.
Thank
I'm
you.
like, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I teach. Do you want to come to class? Yeah, yeah, sure. I will come to class. I'll check it out. Come on, honey. The wait list is long. Never seen that person again.
I wanted to ask you, I wanted us to talk about Sergia Louise Anderson's Beginner Pole Dancer Summit
Yes.
because through my participation in this summit as a speaker, I've learned so much about marketing. Because we've
Mm,
been having one-on-ones with Sergia where she's literally given us like a step-by-step instructions on how to maximize your participation so that you come out of the summit not just having exposed yourself to the thousands of people who attend, but how to maintain a
mm-hmm,
connection with those people who are interested in your
mm-hmm,
topic. Um,
mm-hmm.
like, how much of that stuff did you already know? Because I've been creating like email opt-in forms and um, little enticing giveaways and stuff like that.
Yeah, so like creating funnels, marketing, like digital marketing, these the kind of things that I have always interested in it. I do a lot of research on it as well, but just it's a lot. Like if I'm gonna do it, you will not see me doing poll for like 3 to 6 months because I will just be focusing on that. But
Yeah, it's
that
so
is
time consuming.
quite a way to go. But my target audience, like, for this summer, it's for beginner. Obviously, I have to do something for beginner, but my usual target audience are not beginners. So for me, it will be a different story. I will have to target people who are already doing pole, who want to upskill, who want to, become a performer or like, basically a bigger and more just a better pole artist, I guess. So yeah, my target audience in general is not beginner, which is harder. I feel like harder to please or to attract. But for beginner, because they're excited for anything pole, so it's easier. I'm not saying the work is easy, but you know what I
I
mean.
recently made a tweak to my workshop offerings because similar to you, I used to never cater to beginners. A lot of my workshops cater to
Mm,
really high level elite tricks because that's what I find fun and exciting. And even when I'm teaching in
mm-hmm,
studio, I don't often get given beginner classes because there are teachers who specialize in teaching beginners. They have the personality for it, they have the clear communication style, and like I have the clear communication style, but I don't have that gentle, nurturing disposition that beginners can really benefit from. So I always just, as a
mm-hmm,
default, geared myself towards high level, like high intermediate, advanced
mm-hmm,
elite. But I guess because I've been working on how to communicate with beginners through this summit, I recently restructured my workshop offerings so that now I have an advanced level dance choreography and then an all levels dance choreography. And then I have my high
mm-hmm,
level spin tricks, high level static tricks, but now I have like a foundations, like lower level. Um, what did I call it? I called it like finessing your foundations because I
mm-hmm,
realized, yeah, you need something. And so I'm going to Toowoomba as soon as I get back to Australia. So I sent them these new workshop offerings, and so the students themselves picked the three high level spin tricks, high level static tricks, and then high level dance. But then the studio owner herself said, I also want to do the beginner friendly dance so that we have something to
Mm-hmm.
capture the beginners. So now I'm going to teach 4 back to back to back to back workshops the day after doing
Wow.
a gig in Toowoomba. So it's going to be a really big weekend. But literally
It
all I
will.
did was add in another workshop that includes beginners. Um, and
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
really makes you realize the reason it's so hard to market to advanced is because there's so many beginners, but not everybody makes it to
Yeah.
advanced. So you're just marketing to a smaller pool. So if you include
Mm-hmm.
beginners, all of a sudden you have this massive pool. Because like the Beginner Pole Dancer
Yeah.
Summit last year, you said there was like 4,000 attendees. That's
Mm-hmm.
massive. That's a huge,
Yeah, that's
huge.
huge.
Uh,
That's huge.
that's a lot of
Like
email
I'm just
addresses.
I'm just impressed that they are able to like market out to that many people, you know?
Hmm. I think they did a really good job of getting a diverse international variety
Mm-hmm.
of teachers. And so we all have access to
Mm.
different pools of people. Um, but yeah, the Sergio's whole structure of like, you're going to have your main presentation topic. There's going to be a promotion period where you send everyone your link to sign up. And then once people start
Mm-hmm.
watching all of the presentations from each of the speakers, each of those presentations will lead to a free giveaway that each speaker is offering. And then the free giveaway will lead you to like a broader success pack. So my freebie is a 20-minute excerpt from my performance course, and then my success pack is
Mm-hmm.
the full 4-hour success pack or performance
Mm.
course. Um, and
Mm-hmm.
my topic is how to turn your hyperfocus into your pole superpower. Um,
Mm.
so
I
I'm
love
really
that one.
excited about it. Yeah, because it's gonna capture a whole new audience, and I'm gonna get to know a whole bunch of new people. That's exciting for me.
Mm. That is exciting. I just feel like I need to give more, but then also I think I offered what I can do the best at the moment. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a lot
What's your
going on at the
topic?
moment. So
Yeah, no,
my
I get
topic is
that.
how to get into the competition scenes,
Yep.
because now competitions are more available for beginners even, because a lot in
Mm-hmm.
in-house competition they all cater for beginners now. So yeah, just get beginners out of the nerve and get on the stage and prep their competition routine, stuff like that. Yeah.
I also really liked because Sergia sent a PDF on how to structure your speaker presentation, and it really
Mm-hmm.
helped me because the thing she said, she was like, state your topic, tell us why you're talking about this, and then give us 3 actionable steps on how to
Mm-hmm.
do the thing that you're saying. So my thing was how to turn your hyperfocus into a superpower. And so I created like a 5-step plan, 5 things you can do to make that happen. And I
Mm.
think I would have taken a long time to come up with that structure on my own, but she just gives you like this step by step by step. Here's what you do.
Mm.
And part of what we have to do is create step by step by step. Here's what the beginners should do to progress. And I
Mm-hmm.
just really like
Mm-hmm.
that clearly laid out. Yeah.
It's
I
very
think
clear.
that
It's very just. I'm just impressed the whole thing actually.
but I guess that's part of my branding is that I love structure and I love freedom within
Mm.
structure. And that's my teaching style. And
Mm-hmm.
so I've said this in the past where a lot of people who coach with me, they show up with spreadsheets and mood boards and all sorts of like visual references and music references and stuff like that.
Mm.
And my students, I appreciate them so much because they're so organized, but there's something
Mm-hmm.
about my branding that has inadvertently attracted those types of people because I know from other my peers who I've spoken to, they're like, nope, none of my performance students show up with any of that stuff.
Yeah. I actually
So there
recently have
has,
one that does folder. So like Google Drive, big folder, small folder,
yeah,
everything, like
yeah,
static, spin, music, da da da. I was like, this is perfect. Yeah,
yeah. I feel like it makes such a difference, but then
so good.
it'd be so different from your branding involves a lot more freedom and a lot more spontaneity. And I think
Yeah,
that's
mine is
clear in
that
your
way.
branding. The chaos is clear in your branding.
Chaos, and then just
Yeah.
whatever's trending. Yeah, really like Gen Z way.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's good
Yes,
because
yes.
if your branding is clear and your marketing is effective, then you're going to attract the people who will benefit the most from your services. Because you remember when we did that episode with Steph from Addicted Fitness? And Steph is a real
Yes.
business nerd. And one of the things she said
Mm,
in that After Dark episode is that not every person who walks through her doors is appropriate for training at her studio. And sometimes
mm-hmm,
she'll get to know somebody and realize, oh, you're better suited to this teacher at that studio, so you should go there instead.
mm-hmm,
And I really love,
mm-hmm,
first of all, it's because her marketing is so effective. She gets so many new people that if she refers some people
mm-hmm.
to other places, it's not like it's going to tank her business. So she doesn't have that level of
Yeah.
desperation. So she can,
Mm-hmm.
with confidence, say, you're going to benefit better from attending this other business. And she's actually helping other businesses and she's giving away business because it helps
Mm.
clarify what her business is and then it makes it more effective. I love that generosity.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Yeah. I love that. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah,
That's
so if
branding
you
and
need
marketing.
more tips, yeah, if you need more tips and tricks, go listen to the main episode and come back, and this is our afterthought. So, there's
Yeah.
more detail in the main episode. So go ahead and check out our podcast on all the platforms, any platforms that you can find us. Yay.
Yeah, also, if you do happen to be a beginner and you want to know more about this Pole Dancer Summit, I'll put both Adam's and my referral links in the description because there's going to be
Mm-hmm.
like a couple dozen different speakers from all over the world talking about all different things from like, unlocking your hips and micro knee bends to like Adam and I were both talking about
Mm.
performance related things. So there's just so much, and even you don't even have to be a beginner to benefit from it. Like sometimes it's good to have these
Yes.
reminders later in your journey as well.
Yeah,
So
because I'm
yeah,
definitely checking out some of the instructors' classes because they will
yeah,
be really useful. Yes.
yeah. I
So
think I
check it
saw
out.
Heidi Coker. I saw Heidi Coker on the list.
Yes.
I don't even know what she's talking about,
Yeah,
and I don't care because she's just like such an interesting person. I just want to hear what she has to talk
I
about.
know. I love her.
I love that her training videos oftentimes don't have music playing in the background. They have like podcasts playing in the background. I like to know what she's
Oh,
listening to
really?
these days.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
does
yeah,
that
yeah.
now. I love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's so cool.
Um, but anyway,
Oh,
yes,
okay.
thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for
guys.
joining us.
Yay.
Cheers on your tea, baby. We'll be filming some
Cheers.
new episodes for October, and who knows what they're gonna be, but stay tuned.
Mm-hmm. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.